Welcome to my show. It's a guest here. His name is Garnet Rogers. Mr. Garnet, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing amazing on purpose.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Garnet. Firstly, you are an author. You are also a hustler and a motivational speaker. Can you please, Mr. Garnet, discuss more about yourself and how you are doing currently now, Mr. Garnet?
Uh, well, basically, like I said, the reason why I'm different in what I do because I also motivate the masses and I also show you how to hustle on purpose. I show you how to hustle by faith because God talked about us pretty much, hustling way back when. There's a scripture in the Bible. I'm not really too familiar with too many scriptures, but there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about if a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. Now, a lot of people, got that confused and got that twisted. A lot of people got that confused and twisted that, you know, he was talking about a 9 to 5, but he wasn't actually talking about a 9 to 5. He was talking about using your gift. He was talking about using your hustle, using what he gave to you, using what he gave to you so you can go out there and make a living, so you can be a influence to the masses, and so you can open the eyes and wake up millions and billions of people. So that's basically who I am, you know. That's basically who I am. I'm an influence.
That's very, very, very important. There was even a quote that they said, no, no pain, no gain. One has to sit tight, do a lot of work before one can earn a living. And I would like to dive to your book,
More
Mr.
about
Garnett.
that.
Um, can you please discuss more about your book, The Transition? And do you have more book you are planning to write in the coming future, Mr. Garnett?
Yes. The book, The Transition, is basically about God changing my life. Um, if you look at the book cover, it signifies walking out of the darkness into his marvelous light. Basically saying you got to leave from where you used to be for you to transition and become who you're supposed to be. Yes, I'm in the works of a second book entitled The Transition Book of Daily Motivational Quotes. Because I've been coming up with a lot of quotes lately. They just been coming in my sleep. They've been coming while I'm at work. They've been coming, while I'm out and about. And I'm like, man, God is telling me something. He's like, you need to put out a book of quotes. I'm always fascinated by quotes. People that I talk to and that I listen to, have always put out quotes and said quotes and what they were saying and whatnot. And I've always gravitated to it. So it seems like a beautiful thing. And like I said, success leaves clues. So that's the second book that I'm in the works with, brother. Is the transitional the transition book, the transition motivational daily motivational quotes to empower the masses. I don't want to make it too long. I want to make it short and catchy.
Exactly. I completely agree with you, Mr. Garnett. The book is, will be a very, very lovely book when it comes to someone who wants to feel like he or she wants to be successful. And I also like to dive to the point of success, Mr. Garnett. Every single person today have this type of, mindset that they want to be successful, but the mindset is not there for them to build themselves or get themselves to that point of success. So, what mindset shift do you personally feel like are necessary to develop an unstoppable drive for success, Mr. Garnett?
Well, the mindset you have to have is that you are one in a million. Sort of like one of my favorite R&B singers, Aaliyah. She came out with a title of her album called "One in a Million." A lot of people miss that. You are one in a million, and God made you exactly who you are. So whatever you got on you and in you that's all that you need. You don't need nothing else. So first, with the mind state, you have to think that you are one in a million. Second, you have to realize that your gift, your talent is what you have. It's not for anybody else. God gave it to you. And then you have to believe. like nobody else. Nobody else can believe it more than you. Because if you don't believe it, then I don't believe it. So the mindset of belief is what separates you from the masses. You have to believe with a capital B, not a lowercase b, a capital B. You have to believe.
Belief is very, very important because what one person installed in his or her mind is what that person is going to achieve. If someone install I'll be great, then that person could be great. So the mindset is very, very important. And with the angle of mindset, Mr. Garnett, there should also be discipline. If someone is disciplined, that will also improve the person in some certain way. So what role do you think discipline play in achieving big goals? And how do you think one can also cultivate this discipline, Mr. Garnett?
Well, discipline is the number one thing. Actually, discipline is better than sacrifice. Discipline is the main engine in your vehicle to go on to your best life. Without discipline, you're not driving anywhere. You're not going anywhere. So you have to have that discipline and you have to stay focused on that discipline and not allow any distractions. Any distraction, because any distractions will knock you off of that discipline. Any distraction will sidetrack you from that discipline. So you have to be all out focused. You have to be all out determined. You have to be all out will minded, but beyond a shadow of a doubt, and say, discipline, this is it, and I have to stick to it. I have to stick to it because it's gonna be the embodiment, it's gonna be the development of everything else is to come, but it's gonna start with the discipline. Discipline is key. And if you don't have discipline, you're not going anywhere fast. It's gonna crumble fast. It's like the Bible said, the man that built his house on sand. That's what it is, not having discipline. It's like the man that built his house on sand. That's how important discipline is.
That is
You
very,
have
very
to have it.
important. Very, very important. Discipline is one of the most important thing one needs
Yes.
to have, Mr. Garnett. And because when a lot of also comes, when someone is putting those work, it could get to a point where the person feels probably unmotivated or feel to get to a point where he or she is feeling weaker, weaker and weaker. So how do you think someone can balance that also with to avoid some issue with burnout and even get to a point where the person could feel demotivated? And how do you, personally encourage people to keep pushing forward, even if they're in a point to give up, even if everything is not going and the way they're expecting it to go, Mr. Garnett?
Well, first and foremost, brother, you have to get around people that believe in you. That's first one. You have to get around people that believe in you. Second, you have to trust in God that loves you more than anything else and is rooting for you. He's your number one cheerleader. And then three, you just gotta find it within. You gotta find something within and say, hey, I may not know everything. Hey, my life might not be going the way it is, but you know what? I'm just gonna get up and go. I'm just gonna get up and have faith. I'm just gonna get up and believe. I'm just gonna trust that, hey, if I just go on and just go all out and just focus on this one thing and just focus on it and just do it, it might just happen for me. It might just happen. I'm crazy enough to think that if I just focus on this one thing and just do it every day and just believe and have discipline, you know what? It might just work out for me. I'm just crazy enough to believe. It might just it might just work out for me. And you know what? I'm not gonna wait for it to happen. I'm not gonna wait for myself to feel better. I'm not gonna wait for let the good times roll. I'm gonna do it when I'm depressed. I'm gonna do it while I'm mental ill. I'm gonna do it while people are saying I can't do it. I'm gonna do it while people saying I didn't do it, so you're not gonna be able to do it. Those are the times that I'm gonna do it when all odds are against me and I have a bad deck. I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to lift myself up and say it can be done.
Very, very important. That shows how persistence the person really want to achieve, because times will be bad. There will be tough moments. There will be times when we feel down, but that is not an option to quit. That is an option to even stand up and speak for oneself that I can do this. I could bring myself, I could do every single thing that could bring
Yeah.
me to the next level, which is very, very important for anyone who wants to gain success in life. And I would like to also dive to the point of leadership qualities. Some people feel like when they start to take some steps in their life, they could be a sign of role model. Like they could be someone have to look up to. You understand? When they start to give that leadership quality. So, what do you think are the leadership qualities that can help someone to become that type of role model for perseverance? That means the role model, someone to look up to them when they are in terms of difficulties and stuff like that, Mr. Garnett.
I can sum that up in one thing. Do what others aren't doing. Do what the masses are not doing. That's what makes a leader. That's what makes an influencer. Do what the 99% are not doing. Do what the 99% are not willing to do. Do what the 99% don't want to do. Say and do what the 99% don't want to do. That's what makes a leader. That's what makes an influencer. That's what makes a go getter. That's what makes people say, wow, I need to look at what he or she is doing. I'm gravitating to what they're doing because they're saying they're doing something that's out of the ordinary. Do something that's out of the ordinary. Be crazy. Be radical. Be different. It's cool to be different. It's cool to be radical. It's cool to be a geek and weird. There's nothing wrong with it. Because if last time I checked, the weird people, the radical people, the geeks are the multimillionaires and billionaires.
Yeah.
All the dumb people that I knew are either dead, in jail, or strung out on dope. All the cool people that I knew, that I grew up with, they're either strung out, on in jail, or are dead. So be radical, be different. That's what makes a leader. And a famous quote: if there's not a path, make one. If there's not a path ahead of you, then create one. That's what a leader does. A leader doesn't wait for a path to be created. If there's not a path already created, he creates his own. And he follows it all the way to the T, to the point, till he's successful and the mission is complete. He doesn't stop. A leader does not stop until the mission is complete. They don't
So,
defer from the plan. They don't quit. A leader doesn't quit and give up too. A follower does. Somebody that's thinking about doing what they're doing. Somebody is thinking about doing what they're doing. Uh, is not considered a leader. A quit. But if you're a leader, you all in, 100. That's basically that I'm gonna leave it at. If you're a leader, it's 100. It's not 99. It's not 85. It's not 75. It's not 70. It's 100. If you're a leader.
yes, every single person just wants to do what every single person have done before. And a person who wants to come, he or herself, a quality leader, someone one can look up to, must have this ability to do things that are actually different from others, so that that quality that person have will definitely come out. And also things like that, new things do take time. We do remember when social media are not existing. Those people who founded it the first time are the ones enjoying it now. But that is how powerful equality when it comes to leadership is. And I would like to know, I do not know if you've had any powerful advice, maybe probably when you are listening to some speech, or probably when you're reading something that you received about never giving up, that it was very, very powerful, and you wish the listeners could know this powerful advice. What do you think is the most powerful advice you've possibly received, about never giving up on no matter the circumstances, Mr. Garnett?
Well, there's a quote, well, not a quote, a powerful message from Steve Harvey, the comedian. He says, what they say about you doesn't matter. What they think about you doesn't matter. But when you look yourself in the mirror, what do you say about yourself? And if you quit, it'll never happen. If you quit, it will never happen for you. So at 12 years old, I told my mother that I was going to retire her from her job and I was going to buy her house. She looked at a 12-year-old boy in the face and told me, no, you're not going to do it. Devastating, brother. That's the word I got to say for you. Devastating with a capital D. Held me bound, put me into depression, made me doubt myself. Didn't think I could achieve and believe it. But then I became that lion. I became Mufasa. And I woke up and I knew that I was a leader and I was a leader of a pride and I belong and I deserve to be where I'm at. So, with that being said, to boomerang back to where we was at, I just want to throw that in there. To boomerang back to where we was at, you just got to tell yourself, you have to tell yourself, I will never quit. I will never quit. I will never give up. I'm going to keep doing this no matter what. I'm going to stay the course no matter what. I'm going to keep going forward no matter what the circumstances, no matter what the naysayers say, no matter what the dream killers say, no matter what the world say, no matter what my mama say. I'm going to, or my daddy, I'm going to keep on going. That's it. No quit attitude.
Because
Be relentless.
exactly, because if one give up, then there's nothing to write home about it. You know, as you
No.
said from your quote from Steve Harvey, like if one can quit what he or she, you know, the achievement never come already. So we just have to try our best to have this sign of patience because um if one don't have some qualities, it will be difficult. But if those qualities are there, then it will definitely help that person.
You got to be consistent and you got to be relentless. Those are some of the traits, you know, and you gotta have a why. Why do you do it? Why at the end of the day, when you look yourself in the mirror, I forgot to add that in there, brother. When you look at yourself in the mirror, yourself. One, what do I say about myself? Forget what the world said about me out there. I close the door, I'm in the bathroom, I'm looking at myself in the mirror. The question is, what do I say about myself? Two, why do I do what I do? Why do I get up and do what I do every day? Why? Because if you can rationalize that, if you can realize that, if you could paint that picture, that's one reason that you will never quit because you have a reason why do you do it. And the people that quit, they don't know why they do what they do. That's why they quit. They don't know why they don't know why they do what they do. That's why it's so easy to quit. Quitting is the easiest thing to do. Anybody can do it. But to stay the course and be a winner and become a champion and hold up the Super Bowl or the NBA trophy, that's something special. That's something different. That's a different breed. That's something cut from a different cloth.
Exactly. Very,
And
very
that's what I
important.
am. I'm a winner since birth.
Okay.
I've been a winner since birth. Been a champion since birth. You a champion, you know? You a winner. So if ain't nobody told you that in the last week, I'm telling you. You are a winner and you're a champion, brother. And you deserve to be here on this podcast and doing your podcast. You deserve it. And it's needed. And you're a leader. All right.
Well, I
Just want to give
completely
you that.
agree. Completely agree with you, Mr. Garnett. Thank you so much for the powerful insight. These are powerful words. You know, some people need to listen to when they are in times of pressure or times of anxiety. And you also said something that is very, very powerful. You said the reason is because they do not have a special reason they are doing what they are doing. If they have a very powerful reason, you know, quitting won't be an option for them. You know, quitting is what every
Yeah.
single person can do. So if there's a qualified reason, like strong reason, definitely that motive is still going to be there. That is a very, very powerful insight, Mr. Garnett.
And I'm
And Mr. Garnett, during the end of the show, there's a question I normally ask from our forefathers. There are a lot of things that do exist. Beautiful things exist during our forefathers' time, but a lot of things are missing in our time today. If there is anyone or anything you would like to bring back to our time today, what do you think that thing will be, Mr. Garnett?
the mindset. The mindset that the slaves had to get ahead, get out of slavery, become owners, build a better life, and just be created, created and thought of being equal, just like everybody else. That's what we're missing in today's society. The slave mindset of building wealth and getting ahead in life. We're lazy. Then there's a quote I was just saying that I was just thinking of when you was talking. When you think about quitting, remember why you started. When you think about when you're about to quit, remember why you started. That'll stop you from quitting, brother.
Exactly.
That'll stop you from giving up. When you think about why you started, that will prevent you from quitting. Why did you start it? Why are you doing it? Who's affected by it? Who's gonna miss you if you quit? Those are some of the questions you need to ask your inner self before you think about quitting and giving up. Because somebody's always watching. Somebody's rooting for you not to quit, not to give up, that you don't never see. You might not never see or meet this person, but this person has been watching you. This person has been listening to you, and they are rooting for you the whole time. They are your personal cheerleader. They've been rooting for you the whole time. Don't never quit. Don't never give up. Keep doing it. Keep going, because you are inspiring me and you don't even know it. You are encouraging me and you don't even know it. And you don't even know I exist and you never saw me or met me, but you are influencing me. You are encouraging me. And I'm just, and when I listen and I see you, it motivates me. It inspires me to keep going because of you. And you might be on the verge of quitting, but just because I see you give it one more day, I realize that I can give it one more day. I see you sucking it up. I see you sucking it up and saying, you know what? I'm going to keep going. So I suck it up and I keep going because of you. You are the deciding factor that keeps me from quitting and giving up.
So powerful, powerful words, Mr. Garnett. These are things that are very, very important. One needs to know. One needs to know why one starts something before one has this. We just have to conclude it. Quitting is never an option, honestly speaking. I also want to thank you for the time and the opportunity you're giving me for giving this inspiring message. This inspiring message for those who could feel down currently. Thank you so much, Mr. Garnett.
You're welcome. You are so welcome.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
All right. All right.